Hi, I was encouraged to get my YouTube channel up and going. He's not going to let me be a slacker. Um, so today we were talking about doing my first video that's not actually a short, which means it's more than a minute or so. And I was like, ooh, I'm good at a minute. And he was like, you're good at sharing, period. Stop thinking about it. And think about all these moments when you were silenced and suppressed your entire life. You no longer have to be that. So share with the world and don't be silenced and suppressed. And that really hit home. And so I have so many things in my head that I want to share. I'll introduce myself. I'm Mel. I'm a mother of two. I love my kids more than anything. I taught them to always have a voice. It doesn't mean that they're always right, but they get to speak their mind. Because it was something that I did not have as a child. I did not have a voice. I was encouraged not to share, to keep secrets, hush hush, protect the family. And then that was carried over into my marriage. And then unfortunately, my kids were not silenced by me, but they were silenced by others. Adults are allowed to speak and say whatever they want, but children are not allowed to have an opinion or a voice. And that's something that no longer takes place in my house, and I'm very, very proud to hear my children and their thoughts and their voice. And hopefully in sharing this, you'll find your voice. So I'm going to link my YouTube channel in the comments. If you could go over, like, subscribe, listen, check me out. I hope to cause positive ripple effects into the universe. So it's called The Ripple Effects of Melology. And it's just the knowledge of Mel that I've come to know. It's a bit of this and a bit of that. I started my journey of ascension probably 10 or 12 years ago. And basically, in my opinion, I had to unlearn everything we were conditioned to believe from childhood as children. All the things that we were told we had to do. And things in society, you'll hear me talk about things that we're taught to believe that are not necessarily true. But today, I want to talk about being silenced and not having a voice. So let's go back to when we were children and there's abuse in the household, or it can be abuse of any type, or we know something's going on and, the parents are like, we don't share that. We don't talk about those things. You must always protect the family. Can we think about that for a second? So who's protecting the children? Doesn't the silence encourage bad behavior, especially when you have adults who have, no boundaries and are not expected to treat anyone in a kind, loving, or considerate manner? But then you ask the children who are enduring the abuse, the pain, the neglect, or whatever it is, to be quiet about their feelings. Make that make sense. So we're going to tell the bad, the ugly, the evil, please speak up, have a voice. And we're going to tell the innocent, be quiet. Stifle your feelings. Swallow them down. While we let these big, bad guys overwhelm you, overtake you, overtalk you. And if we don't unlearn that behavior and teach our children how to unlearn that behavior, then we carry it on for generation and generation. And so I've always said that I was born to break generational curses. And I tell you what, I'm so proud of my kids because they absolutely are. They absolutely are. So if you have a story, I promise you there's somebody who wants to hear it. In this household, even though I said I wasn't going to carry on generational trauma, I did, and I've had to take some accountability for that. In my marriage, I encourage my kids to be quiet, but I encourage them to do it to keep us all okay, right? Ugh, don't make him angry. Don't say how you feel. But I tell you what, they still stood up for themselves, and I still found myself protecting them from that same ugly that I saw in childhood. And so I feel very sure they're not going to carry that on. Very, very sure. I was afraid to make the change. I was afraid that I could not do it alone. I was afraid that they would suffer. But in speaking with them, I now understand that nothing that they have endured by living with a single mother full time will ever compare to how they felt silenced and the chaos of living with someone who is very loud. In many, many ways, very loud. So I encourage you to step up and have a voice. Don't shrink yourself down. Don't dim your light. Don't hide yourself. Don't silence yourself once you find your voice. There's nothing like finding your voice and then finding someone who actually wants to hear it. Someone who loves your ideas and the way you speak and the way you share. But even if no one else is interested, love that you found you. And in finding you, you get to find and extend your voice to others.